Hello and welcome to Blake McKinnon Productions. My name is Blake McKinnon and this is the first devlog in a new series about the making of Naughty this year. Naughty this year is a Christmas themed survival horror game they've been working on for about a week and a half. The general overview of the game is that you play as a woman who's stalked by a killer Santa as she tries to get home on Christmas Eve. It's inspired by Christmas slasher movies like Silent Night Deadly Night and even more so Silent Night Deadly Night Part 2. The plan is to release the game around the 23rd of December just in time for Christmas. All of the initial programming for the game is finished and the whole thing is moving along much quicker than I expected it to. As I mentioned in my last video, I've made a new first person controller from scratch so that I don't have to use the one in the standard assets. The new controller is working really well and has turned out much better than I thought it would. The enemy AI has almost been completely rewritten as well. Each game I've made I've improved the enemy AI from the previous one, but this game's AI has gone through the most drastic changes. Very little of the previous code still exists. The enemies, or in this case a killer Santa, react a lot more realistically than they have in the past and will be much more challenging and hopefully more frightening. The other big addition to the game is that I've finally implemented a dialogue system that I'm happy with. This is the third game that I tried to program a dialogue system in this style, and for some reason I could never get it to work the way I wanted it to, and instead had to go with a workaround. I don't know why exactly I found it so challenging to do before, but I'm really happy with how it is now. Recently my main focus has been making all of the assets that are required to build the actual maps for the game. The most time consuming part of this has been making all of the buildings, which has taken me almost 2 days. They may look like they're just big cubes with textures, and they pretty much are, but I've been modelling the doorways and making some of the windows look like they're emitting light. It's nothing too detailed, but these little touches add a lot to the look of the game. Along with the buildings, I made a few smaller assets like street signs and flaming barrels, as well as modified a few pre-made assets like cars and a dumpster. My plan is to make everything that I'll need to put the maps together before I actually start designing them. I've lost a lot of time on previous games having to stop halfway through building a map that I thought was too empty, think of some kind of prop, go make it, and then place it around the scene. So by making everything beforehand, I'm hoping to save a lot of time later on. Another thing that I've been experimenting with is using different camera filters. Like Dead County, this game will obviously have pixelated image effects to try and emulate the look of the PlayStation 1, but I've decided to try out some VHS filters as well. I'm using a really cool package from the asset store called Retro Look Pro. It has a huge range of different effects, and the developer was really helpful and fast to respond when I ran into an issue with it, so I couldn't more highly recommend it. Something that I have to be careful of though is that these kinds of effects can very easily be overdone. However, I think I've got it to a point that I'm quite happy with, but I'll keep playing around with it until I get it right. On a side note, I recently reached 100 subscribers on my YouTube channel, which is really awesome. I started my YouTube channel about a year and a half ago, so it's taken a fair while, but the subscriber count has almost doubled since I released Dead County about a week and a half ago. So if you're a game developer slash YouTuber, I recommend that you put a link to your channel on the main menu of your game, as that's what I did and it exposed a fair few new people to my videos. If you've liked this video, be sure to give it a like and comment down below to tell me your thoughts on it, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. As always, my name is Blake McKinnon, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.